Aspis. Greek, sigma pi iota sigma, translated as the shield, is a comedy by Menander, 342 41st to 292 91st BC, that is only partially preserved on papyrus. Of a total of ca. 870 lines, about 420 lines survive, including almost all of the first and second act and the beginning of the third act. It is unknown when and at which festival the play was first performed. Plot. Set in Athens. The play is a comedy of intrigue that revolves around a greedy old miser, Smicrines, and two decent but impoverished young people. The mercenary soldier Cleostratus and his sister, Cleostratus' loyal slave, Daos, returns from war in Asia Minor with his master's battered shield. He believes that Cleostratus has fallen in battle. In a delayed prologue, the goddess chants soon assures the audience that Daos is mistaken. The soldier's greedy uncle, Smicrines, wants to get his hands on the soldier's rich booty that Daos brought back as well. So he declares that he will marry the soldier's heiress. His sister, Smicrines, invokes an Athenian law that obliges the oldest male relative to marry an orphaned heiress, Epikleros. This is devastating news to Chaereas, who is in love with the girl and was supposed to marry her, and his stepfather, Cheristratos, who happens to be Smicrines' younger brother. A clever plan by Daos saves the situation. Daos stages a false funeral for Cheristratos, claiming that he died of a broken heart and left his daughter heiress of his huge fortune. Smicrines then reconsiders, betroths Cleostratus' sister to Chaereas, and wants to marry his other niece instead. At this point, the soldier Cleostratus, who had only been taken captive, returns. As a result, there are two engagements. Cleostratus is betrothed to Cheristratus' daughter, and Chaereas to Cleostratus' sister. The end is lost, but would have included the final defeat and humiliation of the greedy Smicrines. Characters, themes and issues. The Solonic law regarding orphaned heiresses, epikleroi, was a popular topic in Greek and Roman New Comedy. Apart from Menander's Aspis, the law also plays a role in Terence's Phormio and Adelpho, and there were numerous other plays with titles such as Epikleros, Eris, including two by Menander, or Epidikaz Omenos, the man to whom an estate and its heiress are adjudged. The latter was, for example, the title of the play by Apollodorus of Carystus that inspired Terence's Phormio. Menander's Aspis affirms the democratic values of its Athenian audience by portraying marriage as a reward for some, but not for other characters. Smicrines' regard for money rather than morals or good social relations marks him as an oligarch, and the play implicitly connects his oligarchic ideology with impotency and infertility. As a mercenary, Cleostratus himself also does not automatically fit the ideal of a comic lover. Elsewhere in Menander, Pericheromene and Misoumenos, the mercenary needs to be socialized before he can become an acceptable husband. The fact, however, that Cleostratus is a mercenary not by choice but out of necessity. He enlisted to win a dowry for his sister, Aspis 8-9, shows that his mercenary service is not a reflection of his character, and that makes him a worthy husband after all. In general, Menander's comedy regards mercenary service as threatening to dissolve identity, as well as the demographic and cultural foundations of the polis. Accordingly, Menander repeatedly uses the tools of the mercenaries' trade as tokens of misrecognition. In Aspis 69-73, for example, Daos falsely interprets the shield that he finds on the battlefield next to an unidentifiably bloated corpse as a sign that its owner, Cleostratus, has died. Pictorial evidence. A 2nd century BC wall painting on the west wall of a large room N, in the House of the Comedians, La Maison des Comédiens. On Delos shows 3 scenes from New Comedy. The one least well preserved, Metapiece, shows a standing man and a slave holding a shield. It probably represents the opening scene of Menander's Aspis. Text editions and commentaries. English translations. References. Notes. Secondary sources.